Who are those people that I know I can count on? Who are my evergreens in my life? Hello and welcome to Off My Chest with Dr. Musangali. So I'm recording outside because it's a beautiful day. It's that time of year when we're going into spring and coming off a winter that was not dreary but long, and it's finally coming to an end. So today I thought I would talk about something that often occurs to me as we go through the different seasons of the year. And I look at a tree, a very particular tree that I have just outside my house. And as it goes through the different seasons and the things that happen with this tree, and they cause me to think about seasons of life and what that means for me. So that's what I'd like to share today. So, uh, we go through 4 seasons in a year. We have fall, summer, spring, and winter. I didn't go through those in order. Fall, winter, spring, and summer. Right. Okay. And so different things happen at different times. As we look around in the spring, one of the things you see that the grass is coming back to life. The trees have leaves, they have buds that are coming back, they have flowers, and they are coming back to life. The leaves will soon be here, and these trees will be back to themselves once again. They will look like they did in the summer and at the beginning of the fall, when everything has sprung back to life. So I look at that as I think about the tree that I just told you about that's at my house. So with this tree, in the summertime, it's a very busy place. That tree supports probably 100 birds because it's very busy. The birds are coming and going. They build their nests there in the springtime, and in the summer they're very busy because they live on that tree. As the seasons move on, as we go into the fall and the temperatures begin to drop, then I don't see the birds anymore. And in fact, at a particular season, at a particular time when the leaves have fallen, the birds are gone. They are gone. The tree is left standing bare. And I look up and I can see some of the nests that the birds had built there, but they remain bare because its inhabitants have gone looking for warmer weather where they can thrive, because now it's cold and this tree no longer serves their purposes. And as we go into springtime, and the tree is coming back, I start to see the flowers coming back. I also see the birds starting to come back, and they will come back and they start to build their nests once again. So I sort of think about this in a parallel way about how our lives go through different seasons as well. We go through changes in our lives. We have times that are much like a summer when things are going great. Life is fun. Things couldn't go any better. Everything in our lives is going perfectly, right? As we would wish it to. And then we go into the fall season where you start to experience some challenges. Maybe the temperatures begin to drop. Maybe things in your life, the circumstances around you begin to change. You may be experiencing some challenges in your life, and then you get to a place where you are in the winter of your life. This is a time of hardship where you're not really you. The things around you, things have changed. You've gone through some really difficult times. You may be experiencing some mental health challenges. You may be experiencing some life challenges. Maybe you lost a child. Maybe you lost a loved one, a family member. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you are experiencing anxiety. You're going through depression. You went through a divorce or a separation, right? You're having a hard time with your children. So all of this are challenges that come in our own lives. And it feels very much like the tree must feel when it's fall and winter as well. When life changes and it's not what you knew, it's no longer comfortable, and you're experiencing difficulty. And in that time, can you imagine what this tree must feel? Very alone, isolated, right? Its friends, the birds that benefited from this tree when it was great, when it was fun to be around, they have left. They've gone looking for greener pastures, right? And in our own lives as well, when you go through that season that is winter, oftentimes you may find that your friends will leave. because you're not fun to be around, or you don't have, you're not they're not the person that they're used to hanging around. Um, you don't have much to offer them, because you're at a time in your life that you need nourishment, you need nurturing, you're not giving. And because they are not getting that which they have gotten used to or become accustomed to receiving from you, they depart and you're left there alone. And one of the things that can happen in that time is you start to question your worth. You start to question yourself. Who am I? Right? Real questions about self-esteem, self-worth, self-value. Because here I am, I have nothing, I feel like nothing, everybody around me has gone, right? And things are going really, really badly, things are difficult. And I look at the tree again. How do you get through the winter? How do you get through that time of your life, right? Through the winter, the one thing that remained here for this tree, when the leaves fell off, when the flowers fell off, when the birds left, was the trunk of this tree. The trunk, the core of the tree, it remained standing. It was here in October, it was here in December, and as sure as you can imagine, it's here in March, and it's going to be here year round. That is the core. That is who the tree is. Who am I at my core? Who am I as a person? Knowing myself, knowing my value is really, really important. So that when I'm left standing alone, when people have departed from me, have deserted me, I still have the ability to look back and know this is me. I may be going through a hard time right now. I may be experiencing a winter. I may be experiencing a seasonal thing in my life, but this is me. This is who I am at my core. I know my value. I know my worth. The other thing that has remained standing, and that remains standing from season to season, is the root on this tree. These roots have remained here and have continued to nourish this tree, have continued to nurture this tree. They dig deep, they go and they bring up the moisture, the water that the plant, that the tree needs in order to go from year to year, from season to season, right? So the tree, the roots are the foundation. It is the foundation. That's why it's so important as you think about those formative years, as we're raising kids, for those of us that are parents, that we are that we have a strong foundation. For some people, that may be your family values, right? That give your child foundation. It may be the things, the messages that they hear about themselves that form a strong foundation for them. It may be your faith. It may be some core relationships in your life that are the roots that give you a solid foundation, so that even if a tornado were to come here, even in the seasons of winter when the snow falls, that will remain here and continue to supply this tree with what it needs, so that it remains standing, right? So sort of going back and thinking about, as we go through our own seasons of life, right? Who am I? What are the things about me that I must not forget, that I must always remember, so that I can sustain, I can go through the different seasons, even the very difficult times, right? That they will leave me shaken, maybe, because we're human, we go through life and we get shaken, right? But shaken, but still here, still standing. Now, another thing that is very interesting, as I was talking about this, like it's as the spring comes back and the tree gets all of its beautiful flowers and leaves back, I said, like, guess who's here? Guess who comes back from where they had gone, from south? They come back here. It's those birds that are now here, and you'll see them all over the place. They are busy. They are picking up straw. They are finding grass, because now they are building nests all over again. They are back because, hello, the tree is here and it looks good. I want to be your friend once again. Man, think about that. Wow. So as I think about this, for me, is thinking about the people that, when you are back from your winter, when you get back to this place now where you're okay, you're doing all right, those challenges are gone, they're back, because now they can benefit from you. Now they can gain something from you, and they will be back. So, oh my gosh, it is so important that we recognize the different roles that people play in our lives. Know who they are. So we started with know thyself, know who I am, know my values, know my core, know my foundation, right? But then also know who these people around me are. Who are these lives that are here in a season of plenty, right? And, don't get me wrong, they're important, they add value. They're good to be around. They nourish a part of me that needs that kind of nourishment. Those relationships help to build me. So they add value to my life. But it's important that I don't get so tied to them that when their time is done, when their season is gone and they depart, that I'm not devastated by the loss, that I'm not shaken and left here sort of questioning my worth once again because they're not here. So knowing who they are and what place they hold in my life, right? That they were here, for a time, for a season. So that, and then you also have, thinking about, so that your seasonal friends that are here, that they will go. But then I go back to a beautiful tree that is over here, actually. You have evergreens. The evergreens that come rain, come shine, come winter, summer, fall, spring, that those remain green year round. They didn't change. They did not lose their leaves. Their leaves were here. They have been steadfast. They have remained with this tree throughout the seasons, right? Now, there are people in our own lives who are like that, who are going to be here year in, year out. They are, whatever season we are going through, who are those people that I know I can count on? Who are my evergreens in my life? For me, I think about some of my siblings. I think about my children for sure. That I know, in spite of all the things that we go through, they might be mad at mom for this or that or the other. I might be upset with them as well for this or that or the other. But they know that I'm here, I'm solid. I'm an evergreen in their lives. I know that my girls are an evergreen for me. I know that they will be here regardless, right? And I can count on them. And that is so critical. And because of that, then I also know the place that they hold in my life. And I know the place I hold in their lives. So when a friend departs, I'm not worried about them. But if they were to depart from me, that would shake me to the core because they're really critical for me. Right? And so sort of knowing where everybody, it's almost like you have this tier, these layers that you put different people at, and recognizing who they are and not holding it against them. When they leave, because they must, right? It's that time that they need to go for their own sake, that they must leave, and that's okay. I'm not going to hold it against them. As I think about those birds, when the tree is bare, they're not going to hang around for what, right? They're going to go because we're about self-preservation as well. That's a natural instinct that we preserve ourselves, we preserve our offspring. So when it's time for them, they shall go. And I'm not going to sit here as a tree and be mad because they've gone. If I recognize that they're here for a season and that they go because they must, right? And I have not made them the center of my universe. They have not made them the center of my life. So I'm fine if they're gone. When they come back, great. I'm going to be here. I'll be standing strong and tall with my core and with my foundation, right? So very important that we are aware of the different things that people inhabit. And the last thing I'll say here is this, that as you're going through the winter, as you're going through a winter, as you're going through the fall, as you're going through the summer of your life, as you're going through the spring, all of these seasons are time bound. They are temporary. They are only here for a time. So if things are really challenging right now, they're really difficult, and you're wondering, can I really get through this? Hang in there, because as sure as day, as sure as the seasons go, this too will pass, right? This too will pass. This thing that feels all-encompassing, overwhelming, consuming, these big problems that right now you're looking at and thinking, I can't get through this. Absolutely you can, because it's here for a season. If you hold on tight enough, identify your evergreens, your resources, your support network that you can count on, as sure as day, this will come to pass, and then you will be in another season. When things are going great, remember too, that even that season is temporary, that it too shall come to pass, and you will go through some challenges, so that when things go when things go wrong, when you encounter challenges, you're not surprised, you're not shaken, right? Because you know that this is bound to happen, because that is the way of life. That we have those seasons. We have seasons of plenty, we have seasons of hardship. And having the ability to navigate and go through these seasons as they come, and not being shaken because it's winter, or not forgetting who I am. That even in my summer, I also remember my core. I remember my foundation. When things are going great, I remember who I am. I remember my values, and I'm not moved because things are going great, that I remain who I am. So I think I'm going to end it there. And I look forward to uh, doing more of this in the coming weeks. And I encourage you to subscribe and share. Feel free to leave some comments at the bottom of this video. I love to read from people who are watching this. If this means anything to you, if there's any ways in which this resonates for you, or you have something that you want to share, go ahead and share that in the comments below. Thank you so much, and see you again on our next episode of Off My Chest with Dr. Musangali.